it's normal between children of all ages, whether it is good old sibling rivalry or disagreements with friends.
But when it comes to teaching our kids healthy ways to resolve disputes or fights, many experts say the earlier, the better. In fact, according to the Child Mind Institute, one of the most powerful things you can do to help your child learn conflict resolution is to show them how it's done. I love that.
Show, not tell.
All right. Psychotherapist and author Nero Feliciano joins us now. Nero, this is a great topic. No one better than you. You have a wonderful family, a lot of kids. A lot of kids. Well, you say there are 4 skills that the kids need to know when it comes to handling conflict. What are they?
Yeah, let's get into that. And let me just reinforce what you said. One of my favorite quotes is Ralph Waldo Emerson, which is, "What you do speaks so loud, I can't hear what you're saying."
Oh, I love that.
So we have to model this behavior. But number one, perspective taking. Why this is so important. Do you know we have qualitative research over the last 30 years that kids are becoming less empathetic and more narcissistic. And perspective taking teaches empathy. Ask some questions like, why do you think that person got mad when you did that? Why do you think they said this? Have them put themselves in their shoes. And another way to develop empathy is perspective taking.
And then you also say express feelings without blame.
Yes, yes.
There.
And all of these are good for adults too, by the way. Like my husband and I talk about this all the time. I statements, not you. Not you did this and you said this, but I felt that when you said that, it was not the right thing to say to me and it made me feel hurt. Focus on yourself rather than blame. Ownership. This is what I tell my kids all the time, no matter what happened, own what you can own. Maybe it meant that you didn't walk away at the right time. Maybe they said something to make you angry and you responded out of anger. Apologize. And the repair piece is so important for conflict. Apologize. Again, are they seeing us do this in the house? Are we saying, you know what, I'm sorry. When I was talking about that other mom, I shouldn't have done that. And maybe she was just frustrated and acting in that way. Are they looking at those things as we're doing it? And the last thing is problem solving. We want to give them the opportunity to come up with solutions. Okay, I'm taking that toy until you guys can figure out how to play with it in a way where you're not fighting. Or I'm turning off the TV until you can talk and figure out what show you want to watch together. Ask a lot of questions instead of telling them what to do. You might have to step in at some point though.
And they always say if you fight or argue in front of your kids, make sure that they see you making up too. I think that makes a lot of sense. What about ground rules in terms of setting boundaries for the parents, setting boundaries for the kids and for each other?
A lot of times parents focus on physical safety, and that's a given. No biting, hitting, pushing. We want to make sure we separate kids if there's physical conflict. But we also have to focus on emotional safety because there's actually a lot of self-esteem issues that arise out of the home. So no shaming, no name calling, no using bad language at each other, no making fun of the kid who's being punished. We want to create an environment that's emotionally safe to and explain that's what you're doing when you set those boundaries.
You know, 2 things you said for me are connected when you talk about emotional safety, but also the power of an apology. And I remember listening once to Brene Brown saying that when you issue an apology, you're allowing the person to feel safe again in the relationship. My brother and I were actually just talking about that this weekend. Do you think then that there is a different way we teach children to problem solve if they're dealing with their sibling versus if they're dealing with friends?
So I think it's similar initially, but unlike friends, we can't end that relationship in our own families, nor can we control the environment that the friend is coming from. So at a certain point, you know, I've told my daughter, you know, you can do whatever you can do, but if that person's not going to respond, maybe that's not a friend you want to continue to spend time with. And even apologies. Do we as parents apologize to our kids? You know, when we react in a negative way, when we're yelling at them, I will always go back and be like, I am so sorry. I'm not sorry for what I said, but I'm sorry for how I said it. I shouldn't have yelled at you in that way, and I was frustrated.
When is it appropriate for parents to intervene, though? You said, obviously, you want to lay down those ground rules, no physical touch, fighting, things like that. But when does a parent need to step in?
You know, certainly with the physicality, but also if you see they're struggling, they're not talking to each other, they're not coming up with solutions. I mean, kids are very emotion-led. Their prefrontal cortex is not developed till they're 25, so the rational thinking piece is not there. They may need solutions and options from you, but always give them the opportunity to try and come to it first.
I love that.
Psychotherapist and author Nero Feliciano, thank you so much. Such great tips for all of us with these multi-child
not just kids, as you said, also for adults,
too.
everyone. All right, listen, stay with us. You are watching NBC News Daily. We're so glad you're here.